crap. Here we go. Get ready. Get set. It's the Project Ion Podcast with Kevin, Andy, Jim, and Kyle, bringing you opinions on life from a basement in Northwest Iowa.
Oh, come on.
I really don't think that a president can do much about that issue.
You are fake news.
Well, let's say it's a guy named Seats.
I make you scary.
Man, this shit whack, man.
When you want to do a scam.
I want to save him until he goes through puberty.
How dare you?
Project Ion Podcast, July 1st, 2020. How are you doing, Kyle?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing well, too. Yep, we are, the skeleton crew is running it. We're waiting for Mr. Spurgeon, who will join us shortly, I think.
Claims his computer's updating, but
Yeah.
probably fake news.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll need to make it. He'll have to prove his case when he hops on.
Yeah.
So, Corona week 5,000, pretty much. I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever go back to normal again at this juncture.
Yeah. That's kind of my thoughts as well. I mean, what is normal going to look like? Is it going to be like credit card only? Because I know a lot of places are really disparaging against using cash. The mask thing still irks me. I think I'm going to have to wear a mask when I teach in the fall. I don't know I don't know how I'm going to stick it to the man in that instance, but
Yeah.
something.
Maybe be like the, what was that guy who wore a Klan hood to the grocery store or something like that? Maybe
I'm not going to do that.
Maybe you could do something like that.
No. I will not do that. There's a lot of
Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say there's like these massive changes to society in the last, we've only been going through this for like 4 months. It already feels like we're in this new era,
Yeah.
I guess. But there's Spurge.
Hey, Spurge.
Fake news.
There he is.
So, Andy.
Second, I can't hear you yet. I don't have audio.
Okay. We can hear you.
Oh,
What?
technology.
Ah, man. Spurge is dealing with technical difficulties here on the podcast.
All I can hear,
Go
you can
figure.
hear him groan.
Yup. Yeah, well, I mean, you make a good point there, Kyle, like how rapidly we've transitioned into whatever you want to call what we're living in today. But it certainly feels like a totally different
Man, this shit is whack, man.
Yeah,
There he is.
there. Can you hear us, Spurge?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, there you go. Yeah, we're just talking about how quick this coronavirus, how quick these changes have been made.
Yeah.
And we're only about 4 months into this, and it seems like we're living in a completely different framework. But
And going
Goes
the
a
wrong
bit.
way.
it goes to show you how easy we are to take orders.
Well, I mean, yeah. Kind of gotta, though. I mean, cases spiking.
Yeah.
Hospitalizations aren't going up right now in Iowa, so that's good.
Yes, that's that should be the only statistic you look at, in my opinion. Whoop, we lost you, Spurge.
Bugging out.
Bugging out.
Yep.
Oh, you did?
Oh, we
Oh, I
can
can hear
hear you. Your looks frozen.
There you
Oh,
go.
there you
Why
go.
am I bugging out? My internet connection is unstable.
Oh,
It's spotty. The new internet must be a little temperamental up at Spurge's house. Well, Spurge actually has a new place, so whoop,
yeah.
there he goes.
He's back.
Are you
Yeah, I
in?
don't know what that was about. I was connected to a weird other network for a
Oh,
second.
okay. Are you you're in the new place, right, Spurge?
New house, yeah.
Y'all settled in?
All settled in.
Nice. Looks great.
Yeah. Works. Got a window. Watch all the neighbors get creepy with it.
Yep.
How's business?
Busy.
Is it trickling down yet?
The drip trickling down.
From the Overlord Hy-Vee?
Oh no, it's rushing in.
Yeah.
Rushing there. That's good.
I think we probably transferred 350 plus from them in
Nice.
2 weeks.
Excellent. Hey, been meaning to get in there. Do you just drive through and pick up a form, or how does that work?
Or, yes, Kyle, I'm glad you asked. Actually, you can come through the drive-through on the east side of our building, 9 to 6, Monday through Friday, and pick up a form. Or you can go to our website, EstervilleRx.com, click New Patient, fill in your information, and we'll take it from there.
Excellent. Could you tell me again those hours of operation, please?
9 to 6, Monday through Friday.
Got it.
No weekends. Except this Friday, we're only open till 1.
Shame.
I got to paint my shutters.
Oh, so you make your own hours.
Well, yeah.
I guess you're a businessman now. Capitalist.
It's
Yep.
our holiday. Got to go be patriotic,
Oh yeah.
comrade.
Are we celebrating 4th of July? Is that okay this year? Or?
Yeah, I haven't heard anything too racist about it yet.
Okay. Now there's still time to cancel it.
Yeah. Don't hold your breath. We'll see.
I don't know. I haven't looked to see if all the fireworks are all scheduled and all that still. I know Big Spirits is
Okay.
for Friday.
Yeah, I think the fireworks are go. I don't know. Last I heard the fireworks were a go, but
Well, I know no fireworks for Sweet Corn Days for Esterville this year.
oh,
Yeah.
no sweet corn days. Period.
Yeah, I thought they'd at least do the fireworks, but then I kind of realized, we got to make money to pay for fireworks, and
Yep.
without an
Yeah.
event, that
Can't
made
take it out of
sense.
the chamber coffers.
Yeah. You got a couple chamber board members here
Right.
that have to be judicious with our money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a tough decision. I poured over it for a while, and I know everybody else involved that was more directly associated with it put a lot of time in. So I don't think.
Yeah,
I don't.
just-
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the things that make Sweet Corn Days, like serving thousands and thousands of people public food, how are you going to manage that? Or the parade,
Yep.
the guidelines that jive with the state
Right.
and all that stuff.
Well, and I was doing kind of somewhat of a deep dive into there just recently with some legislation passed to give retroactive liability protection to like businesses and churches and organizations and so forth for having events. So the
Is that state?
state of Iowa, yep.
Mm-hmm.
And I read through it, and like whether or not the Chamber of Commerce would be directly contemplated under that law is kind of a nuanced question that wouldn't have a super clear answer. But I think at the minimum, it's probably a big hurdle for somebody that would want to be litigious, or a group of people. Like, let's say 50 people get sick at the same time and they can all trace it to Sweet Corn Day or something like that.
Sure.
Throw a class action together. Well, I mean, I think then immediately you point to the new legislation, try to get it dismissed there. But hopefully,
Well,
yeah.
It makes you wonder what the event insurance would look like, because I know that's something that they get every year. you know, to cover such things, and to cover the, you know, the bounce houses and crap like that. If some kid
Right.
gets hurt or someone gets run over by a slow moving vehicle in the parade, or
Yeah, the insurance element to the coronavirus is something that I'm interested in too. I know I've talked about this a little bit before with some people, but it's, you know, I think for sure at this juncture under current policies, the pandemic thing is not calculated into their risk pools and stuff like that. So I think your claims would not be covered there. But going forward, I would anticipate that might be different. You know, once it's time to re-up and do new policies and that sort of thing, either it's going to be explicitly excluded, or if you do want coverage, you're probably going to have to pay extra for it. But,
yeah, well, I mean, so here's my thought process on the whole deal. It's not like we don't have highly contagious disease states already that are out there in the world. So you take measles, for example. If that's around a bunch of people that aren't vaxxed, you can get a cluster outbreak, and you get those in those yuppie California communities where all the soccer moms do essential oil injections and not
right.
vaccines. But no one can, I mean, I've never heard, I guess, of a lawsuit where they're like, oh, well, my kid, you know, went to the same daycare, so and they got, you know, because I think measles is a 93% effective vaccine, for example. So there's still a 7% chance if you're around a bunch of it that you're going to get it.
Yeah.
And I've never heard, and I don't know this, you know, I haven't studied the law at all. But I'd imagine that would be a pretty popular lawsuit had that ever happened.
Yeah.
Where someone sued for those damages.
Well, I guess the way I would maybe start thinking about how the coronavirus might be distinct from older diseases or something for which there's already treatment and that sort of thing for would be with all the state guidelines and stuff, like, you know, social distance. If you're going to be open, you have to do A, B, C, and D, you know, that sort of thing. Like, by very virtue of having that rule book there, I think it's sort of affirmatively creating like a duty of care on a bar or a restaurant or something like that. So if you can get sick, number one, I guess, and then you can demonstrate that they owed, you know, wherever you were, owed you this duty of care to follow the guidelines, say, and then they didn't, and you could prove it and prove your damages flowed from that. You're into a negligence theory of a cause of action. So, and I don't know, I mean, how could you maybe do the same thing in like your measles hypothetical? I mean, I suppose you could, but
you know. I mean, for negligence, you'd have to prove intent and knowledge too.
Yeah, the elements to like for like
right.
Civil. What I'm talking about, like civil damages. So like if you get sick and then you have, because I mean that's probably what we're talking about here, not necessarily like from a criminal standpoint, but
gotcha.
In civil court, yeah, the basic elements to a negligence theory are whoever the tortfeasor was, meaning the person that did the bad thing, has to owe the victim a duty of care. And there has to be a breach of that duty, meaning they should have done X and they failed to. And then what that breach actually caused the damage. And then the final element is there has to actually be damage. Otherwise, what are you trying to recover against, you know? Yeah. So, like, the idea would be, okay, well, if you get sick, then you could prove all this stuff, and then you had a bunch of medical bills or something. You know, or a wrongful death suit or something like that. Would be I guess would be kind of the basics of it. But I don't know. It's all brand new, uncharted territory, and believe me, the lawyer networks are doing webinars and stuff all the time, talking about this, that, and the other thing about trying to navigate the practice of law in the coronavirus age. So,
Sure. Are you still all online? for a lot of your stuff?
Yep, most of the hearings are telephonic right now. We're going to transition to face-to-face here in the next 3 weeks, but I could see that getting, depending on how things go, that could get extended.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think if we have another, if in the next 3 weeks we have continued case spikeage and deaths and stuff and whatever, I mean, I don't know. We'll see, I guess, but it's coming down from the Supreme Court. Yeah.
It's getting wild though. I mean, around the country, Texas, Houston's a disaster right now. They have 100% occupancy in all of their, and they have the most hospital beds like in per capita, I think, in the country. And they're 100% occupancy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but is that because, I mean, that's not 100% occupancy because of Corona.
No, it's Corona on top of everything else.
Yeah. So you have some of those beds taken up for, I don't know, a bypass that they couldn't get 3 weeks ago because elective surgeries weren't available.
Did elective surgery stop in Texas?
I'd have to fact check. I'd have to Snopes it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know. Well, and a bypass wouldn't be elective surgery. A boob job's an elective surgery.
I think like things like gallbladders and everything that's not life essential is elective.
Yeah, but a bypass is a pretty essential thing, man.
Yeah, I suppose.
No, it is. It makes the heart work again.
Well, that would be interesting context to know, like how much of that occupancy is sort of routine, I guess, for maybe lack of a better word, and then what's assignable to coronavirus.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can look at Texas Hospital average. You can look at average occupancy rate. It's probably pretty high.
Yeah, compare it to like last year at this time and see what it looked like.
Yeah.
We got a comment. Our fangirl says,
she's back.
This is all over my head.
Whoever it is.
Hey, fangirl, how you doing?
Hey, Eric Hansen.
Oh yeah, that's your operating theory, isn't it?
That's my tinfoil hat.
Well,
I think it's Kevy.
If it is Eric, then Eric is the new assistant manager at Fairway Spirit Lake. So,
big
congrats to him. That's awesome.
I saw the big it's really happening picture today on Facebook.
Yeah, he's pretty official.
That's good, man. He's put in his time.
No kidding. Yeah. Paid his dues around there.
I think he said 19 years.
Jeez.
Yep, there he is. He'll be running that place, man.
Good. I'm going to try to partner up with the Fairway in town here.
Okay.
Take advantage of some of the resources we have and they have and do some combo drug and delicious groceries delivery.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Your plan is to like have a full-fledged drugstore, right? Like
just a pharmacy.
Or pharmacy, my bad.
Yeah, I'm not going to have the tchotchkes.
The what?
I call them tchotchkes, the little gifty things. And
oh yeah, like cards and stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have the OTCs, your first aid gear, crutches, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
You should get a Nike franchise as well and just have a corner devoted to sweet kicks and stuff.
Well, we're gonna do diabetic shoe fitting, so
hey, it's kicks at least. So
it is. They are not fly, but they will increase your circulation.
Jordan doesn't make a pair of Nike Beatus kicks.
That's an untapped market. They should probably consider that. I mean, you could get that Air Monarch widen it out a little bit more, put Velcro on there,
Extra wide.
Those Air Monarchs were dope, nasty.
quadruple F width or something like that. And
You got to get the extra wide. Taylor Olson still goes on and on about how he goes the other route of Dad's shoe.
New
Instead
Balance.
of the Air Monarch, the New Balance
Yeah.
356. Just classic.
Which he's been rocking since like high school.
Yeah.
Maybe
High
before
school.
that, even. I don't know.
Yep.
I can't
Always got
remember.
the same New Balance because they're extra wide.
Well, in fairness, though, he does need them. I mean, my God.
He's a large man.
He is a big boy. Yep.
I saw Tay the other day. Saw him and the kiddo a little bit.
Nice. Ooh, Teets is in
He's,
the chat. What's up, Teets?
We got Teets on the chat.
Yup.
Is he
Oh,
not
yeah.
that?
Yeah, that's Teets.
Oh,
And
what up, dude?
the fangirl says, I'm not Eric, but I love that episode. That's cool. Well, we're going to figure out who you are there, fangirl.
Yeah, Kevy.
One of these days. I think Kevy swears up and down it's not him, but I don't know if I believe him.
Maybe.
Master troll.
Yeah. No kidding. You guys ever see the troll episode of South Park? Some of those.
No.
I don't think I have.
Oh man, it's really funny. Gal, who is it? It's Stan's dad. Just sits there with like a glass of wine, just on his computer, just trolling folks. I think he's called Skank Hunt 49 or something like that.
And we're banned.
Yep. Well, the art of the
Is it
troll has.
Skank Hunt?
Yeah. I don't
You
know.
can't curse on YouTube.
Oh,
I
you
don't
can.
know.
YouTube's been banning people lately for hate speech
Yeah,
and stuff.
They just
but-
had a purge the other day.
So did Reddit.
Yeah,
Yeah, the Donald. is
The
no longer-
Donald.
it's gone.
And
yeah.
what was the other one that was? There was another one that was real bad. El Chapo's Trap House or something.
Oh, jeez. I've never been there.
Yeah, don't. Well, you can't, but
Yeah.
it's not great. Not great. That needs to be on 8chan.
8chan. What is an 8chan?
Deeper than 4.
Oh, God.
It's twice the
It's-
debauchery, huh?
The bowels of the cess of internet.
Yeah, pretty much. Build interwebs, man. I text Cole.
Okay, yeah, if he wants to jump on, whatever, that's fine. We'll be waiting for him. Well, since we've got 2 Hawkeye fans here, I wouldn't mind kind of hearing your input on like the latest chapter in the Hawkeye criticism forefront here. Akram Wadley came out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to like him.
Is he?
Not anymore.
What happened to him? Is he playing professionally or something? Or
No, he had a brief stint with the Tennessee Titans. I think he played a few preseason games and then he got cut before
Yeah.
he made the roster. But
Did he go to Canada?
I don't think so. I don't think he's playing anywhere right now. He this whole story it just has zero credibility because like 2 weeks ago him and his mom were trying and in contact with the University of Iowa and the coaches and stuff trying to get his little brother a scholarship to Iowa. So it's
Really?
like if all this stuff is so awful, why the heck would you want your little brother to come here?
Yeah, no kidding.
So, I don't know.
I was reserving judgment one way or the other until because he did name some people. He named some other players. So if other people were going to collaborate,
corroborate? Yeah.
That's a weird word. Is that
Well,
right?
Corroborate? Is that what you're
Corroborate
right? Yeah.
with an R, not a W. Yeah, corroborate that story, then I'd say dive deeper. But this
Well,
is one dude.
here's like this same staff, other than a few assistants here or there, Doyle and Ferentz, and they've been together for almost 20 years. Where are the dudes that were here 15, 16 years ago? Are they going to speak up? Because all we've heard from are players within the last like 2 or 3 years. So have the coaches digressed so much, and have they just become so insensitive in the last 2 years? Or are kids 18, 19-year-olds, are they just weak now? Because I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, if this treatment was so bad the last 2 or 3 years, surely it probably would have been as bad or worse 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when Doyle and Ferentz were, just getting into the game.
I tend to agree. I think there is something to be said for, the current climate, and it's the same with like the Me Too stuff. One person says something, floodgates open, everyone says everything.
Mhm.
But I think it is interesting that we aren't hearing from players of old, unless they're just over it or have moved on or what. But you would still think you'd get somebody at least from 10, 15 years ago.
Because all of this got started with, was it James Daniels that tweeted something about how the football program wasn't treating the black players fairly, and then I think a bunch of other players got in on that, and then I think that was sort of the opening of Pandora's box, so to speak.
Right. And I read through a lot of their like personal accounts, and I don't want to sound insensitive here or whatever,
but
a lot of it to me was just being a coach being an a-hole. I guess some of it probably a little iffy. I don't know. I wouldn't say it crossed the line into racism by any means.
I mean, if there were minority only meetings, then yeah.
What do you mean minority only?
That's what they're one of the big claims was, where they would have minority only meetings, team meetings, that only the black kids would be required to attend.
I guess I never read that. I'm ignorant on that.
I can't remember.
But I know there's a podcast called the Washed Up Walk-Ons. Jim, you may have
I listened to
heard
that
of
one that had the James.
Oh,
Daniels.
James and
Yep. But
yeah.
I didn't listen to the whole thing, but
the biggest gripe was you couldn't wear earrings and they wouldn't play rap music in the weight room. That was their only argument on that. I mean, if you can't come up with anything better than that with the platform that you currently have, especially with times like we're experiencing today, then I find the whole argument hogwash. And now you got Doyle, who is out of a job. He's taken a freaking payday to the bank from the university. He's got like $1 million settlement out of this thing.
A contract buyout, yeah.
Contract buyout.
He got a job already.
Did he? Where did he go?
Somewhere down south.
Wow.
Louisiana.
Really?
Yeah.
I did not know that.
yeah, well, it's certainly an interesting story. I mean, as bad as the PR is and everything, my mind goes to what does this do to recruiting in the future? Because I would think anybody that would be kind of battling Iowa for a recruit somewhere would bring this up every time for years.
Yeah.
Who knows how long that'll continue.
They've got a really good class. I think top 15 or 20 in the country coming in next year. 21.
Top,
Or is it 22? I can't
maybe
remember.
they're second or third in the Big Ten in recruiting.
Yeah. So, and apparently that class is pretty tight. I know they lost one running back. I think they were expecting him to come to Iowa. He decided yesterday or the day before he go to Utah, like last minute. So that kind of
But you
makes
see
me
they
wonder.
they like lost a D back and then gained him back again, and
Yeah, recommit. Yeah,
yeah, he was wild too because he hasn't even been playing D back because teams would just run away from him all game,
yeah,
and so he's only been playing offense.
yeah.
Hmm.
But he's
Yeah,
a freak. He's so fast.
It's if this story, like, if this whole thing wouldn't have happened, it would have been like, I think a lot of people would have been talking about Iowa and like playoff contention here in the next few years. But you're exactly right, Jim. If I'm like Wisconsin or an Ohio State or somebody, I would for sure swoop in on some of these higher rated recruits that are visiting Iowa and
Yeah. I mean,
make your case, you know.
are you sure you want to go there? I mean, look at
Yeah.
all the problems that they're having, right? And I suppose the real test will not necessarily be the next year's or the most immediate group coming in, but how's it going to shake down in the next 24 months,
Right.
Because yeah, that'd be the difference maker if a kid is on the fence or something, I mean,
Oh, shit.
all the recruiting competition is going to look to capitalize on this as much as possible. Then
Oh, yeah.
my understanding is that has the university hired some law firm or something to come in and do like some sort of an investigation into all this stuff, and I think I read that
Yeah,
somewhere.
well, into Doyle, I know there was a whole independent thing because when
I think
when Ferentz had his big press conference where he had the couple guys in, and they're like, yeah, we canceled practice for a couple days. We've just been having the hard talks. I know at that time, he goes, I hope it's not true, but buck stops at me. They got an independent investigation. I don't know who's doing it, of course, but
Well, there's a guy, he's not even a lawyer. I think he's just like a PR specialist or HR. I don't know. He's representing these football players. I think his name's like Robert T. Green or something. And he's the one that's posting all these stories and getting a hold of the media and stuff. And I looked on his Facebook page. He just looks like a freaking sleazeball. Like one of those guys who makes money off of settlements, just a shark in the water.
Okay.
But I'll have to send you a link in our text group. It's you can definitely see motive here.
Well, sure. I mean, yeah, if the blood in the water, the sharks start showing up.
Yeah.
But
Which is why the whole Wadley story is crap to me, because like I said, they wanted his brother to come to Iowa. So.
yeah. Well, I mean, what happens if in another 2 weeks somebody else comes out of the woodwork and there's just this steady stream of complaints and whatnot coming up? I mean,
Well, maybe I'll issue a statement and said I was mistreated by Brian Ferentz. I didn't even play there. Anyone can say anything now, and it'll just automatically be believed.
well, I don't know that it's believed. I believe it's being investigated. I don't know that anyone's come out and said, yeah, he's 100%. That this for 100% the truth. You can't
But
disagree.
yeah, I mean, wouldn't it be in today's climate? Wouldn't you be safer accepting it rather than?
You are, but are they? I mean, I haven't seen anything like that.
Oh, I mean, you look at Doyle; he's already gone. I think.
Yeah, but he had 19 people making accusations with similar stories. I mean, what does it take to have proof that it was sketchy? I mean, what's the standard of evidence?
I mean, that's it too. Like, were the comments grounds for termination or grounds for dismissal, or was it just hard coaching? It's kind of a fine line, I think,
I think it is.
but we'll never know.
Well, they're still doing this. I just pulled up an article from the Gazette from the other day. It's a Husch Blackwell is the Kansas City law firm
Okay.
that's looking into it.
All right. Well, that may be the death knell for the whole thing if the law firm comes back with a report that says that this stuff is, largely unsubstantiated, or maybe perhaps what it does substantiate doesn't rise to the level of a problem or something. Maybe then the thing is a flash in the pan.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, what if the law firm comes back with some kind of scathing indictment of everybody in sight, then what? Or somewhere in between, I guess.
Yeah, it's just I think like you just said, it's gonna be somewhere in between, and then we're just gonna be stuck again because no one's gonna know what the hell to do. Did it cross the line? Didn't it cross the line? Yeah, it's gonna be a mess.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe I missed it. Maybe I misread that. I can't find anywhere on Doyle having a new job.
I would think that'd been all over the news, but
Yeah, I just thought I saw it and I was like, oh damn, that was fast. I mean,
yeah.
guy makes $800K a year.
his son went to play at Baylor now.
Dude, I bet that's what I read.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think yep. I think that's what I
Well,
did.
it's pretty
Read for his
darn
son.
good too.
Because Doyle would be a risky hire, I would think, if you were a program somewhere, and he's got all this hot
Until the
water.
report comes out.
Yeah, right. Today, at least, he would be a risky hire, based on the bad PR here lately. But anyways, interesting stuff. Well, be real curious to see how it shakes out.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, it's never-ending news cycle. I mean, cripes.
Yeah, it's overstimulating is what it is.
I've really liked getting back to like full-time busy work. I don't have time to look
Oh
at
man,
the news,
I'm so jealous.
period. Until I get home at night, and then I'll pop it open and kind of scroll through, see what's going on.
Yeah.
Stop by Trumpy's page, see what he's complaining about for the day, and
Yeah. We'll see.
today was a funny one. Today was about desecration of Fifth Avenue in New York.
Oh
City.
yeah, the BLM stuff.
He's so concerned.
Well, would you want that right out of your property?
No.
I'm gonna go paint BLM right in front of your house, Spurge.
Good luck in Esterville. I don't know. Our mayor lives across the street.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a petty game that Cuomo's playing with Trump, and Trump's, he can't ignore it. He's
Hook,
got
line, and sinker.
Yeah.
I mean,
there's no way.
it's just so easy to troll him.
Yeah.
I mean, look at what the little teeny boppers on TikTok and South Koreans did to his Oklahoma rally.
Yeah.
Trolled the troll, baby.
Yeah. Well, the sad story is the losers are everybody in middle, with critical thinking that's not on the one extreme polar side or the other.
That's the vast majority of people.
Yep. And we're the ones that are suffering as a
Yeah.
result of everybody lobbing their ideological bombs at each other all the time. It sure is frustrating. Well, I was gonna I kind of want to do something slightly different. I found a video that I thought was kind of cool. I'm gonna pull it up here real quick. So
Is it
Is it a
Okoboji girl?
situation?
No. Well, we could do the. Do you want to do that education? Do the segment situation, Spurge? What do you think?
I mean, Kyle hasn't been working for a while, so I think we got to get a little situation out of it.
We'll do the segment situation real quick. Yeah. Alrighty.
You just get-
Worth jingle.
It's a collaboration education segment situation.
Can't wait.
Whoops. Alrighty. Let me find this video. I uploaded it on our channel. I hope it's still there.
Did we lose some subs?
We probably did. Yeah.
We're
I
at
don't know.
47.
Blame it
Yeah.
on Corona. Haven't been streaming enough.
Well, we don't. The Cole cast.
Oh yeah, the Cole cast. That was a
gosh.
good one. The old Cole cast. Let's see. Oh dear. I'm not seeing it, boys. What happened to that? Maybe it'll show up here.
You going
Oh,
up
yeah.
to Spicer this weekend, Jim?
No, I'm not. Laura's already gone. So
Yeah, I know.
Yep. She'll be returning in a few days. And anyways. Yeah, the Condon family always does this kind of 4th of July reunion thing up in Spicer. So have you ever been up there? It's neat.
Yeah, Spicer's nicer.
Yeah. It reminds me of like what Okoboji was like 25 years ago. You know.
Yeah.
You don't have all the rigmarole like you do in Lake nowadays. Well, so this is a video called Situation Information.
Oh God.
So we'll see what you think, Kyle.
Hello, and welcome to the Education Integration Ideation video series. Today, we'll be discussing situation information. Have you ever experienced a situation? A situation is defined as the presentation, illustration, continuation, or illumination of something somewhere in the situation. Most situations have some communication expectation, and usually.
What do you think so far? Pretty good material, I think.
This is so you.
No,
you
it's
just
not.
really-
It's the segment situation information
You
video.
redubbed your voice.
No, I didn't.
There's some situation in this information.
There's no way this is real.
You need to, listen closely because this is important stuff.
You
usually
need to
take
take
place
this
in civilization. If a situation falls down in forest vegetation with nobody around for observation, is it still a situation?
This is you.
The answer is yes. There is no verification needed for forest situations, and there might even be some fertilization. Can I use my imagination in the situation? Unfortunately, no. The integration of imagination into the situation has yet to receive legislation memorialization, so it is therefore a violation.
Okay, you need to look at the screen, Kyle. Stop hiding from the situation video.
Kyle?
Come on, Kyle.
Oh God.
There's important information situation.
There's no way we're gonna make it through the YouTube algos.
You have to learn about the integration of the
Yeah,
situation.
I mean the drawing is not complete either. I mean, I know it looks kind of bad right now, but
We're not through. We'll
yeah,
see.
give it time. We're only
Alright.
halfway through the video.
Context.
You may ask, how does conversation manifest itself in this situation? Typically, conversation during a situation is referred to as collaboration. We all know collaboration is information coordination during the situation. While this may be true, it is also possible for collaboration differentiation. If coordination of information within the situation is not possible, then it might be necessary for the administration of differentiation. In the next installment of the Education Integration Ideation video series, we will be taking a deep dive into indemnification. Thanks, and we hope you enjoyed the video on situation information.
Well, what do you think?
I think I probably got more out of that video than I did in the rest of the legit educational situation video.
Well, I tell you what, Kyle, if you want to use this at your next PD segment thing situation, feel free to, you know, rip it and.
Sure, everybody will be taking notes. And...
You need to credit it. I mean,
right.
But it's a little fox.
No, I mean, how'd you voice modulate?
You're blaming me for this?
Yeah, I can. You just your inflection is spot on.
You think it's vocalization of the situation information?
I think it's determination that it's Jim who made this creation.
I don't know why I would get blamed for everything all the time. It's just it's a informative video on situation information. So.
Oh my god.
Good stuff.
That was funny. That was funny as hell. Man.
Been waiting to spring that one on you for a while.
Yeah. Spurge, have you seen it?
I hadn't seen it. I had heard some collaboration.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Regarding the situation information.
So,
holy cow.
I found this video. This is High School Fitness from 1962.
Oh, hell.
So,
More
Kyle, you're a high school coach, Kyle. So I want you to compare this to some of the athleticism that you see in, 2020.
Okay.
A California high school has the well-nigh perfect answer to the president's call for physical
I
fitness.
love this voice.
Oh, yeah.
Like the old-timey, tin,
Right.
Oh, welcome to the California high school here.
Right.
And
have you heard of the transatlantic accent before?
No.
So it's somewhere in between British and American. So you can find it in films from, I think, Hollywood from, the World War II era, probably.
Sure.
Where it, a few of the words, instead of far, they would say fa, something like that. But then other parts of their, the way they say words and the pronounced stuff would be very recognizable, So there's just enough there that's kind of fancy sounding, I guess, or whatever, that it's not quite American, it's not quite British. So they call it the transatlantic. Yeah, I should look it up sometime, but it kind of reminds me of that. But yeah, this the fast talking, tons of mid range and treble in the voice and no bass. Yeah. Like a radio ad man guy.
Stan Laprati, Physical Education Director at La Sierra High School, has developed a program that assures every student of physical excellence.
So that would be tough.
That's like grip strength, isn't it?
This is like Ninja Warrior stuff.
Yeah.
Do you think you could find, would you say 10% of the athletes or something could do this?
Yeah, that's probably a good number, 10% maybe.
So it's certainly a minority of the modern high school athlete, at least that you're familiar with.
Vast minority.
Because that's pretty hardcore.
Yeah, that is insane.
Because that's just it's like a rod, right? They're just grabbing a rod.
Yeah, or I don't know, maybe a ball on a string or something, but.
Jeez.
Exercise on the grip swing puts muscles on the least athletic. Extension push-ups are among the toughest of the drills. As an incentive to excel, the color of the shorts the boys wear is determined by their ratings on performance charts.
And I mean, you probably, I don't know if anybody's more than 10% body fat here.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, you don't see anyone. Huh. That's incredible.
Some requirements for top ratings are stricter than for an apple.
I mean, that kid was jacked right here.
Yeah.
Look at this guy.
That's a high schooler?
High school kid.
Cut, dude. Well, they're getting ready to head to Vietnam.
I guess.
Yeah.
Are stricter than for Annapolis plebes. A lad who has mastered the pegboard will find a military obstacle course as snap.
That's hard as hell too. I've tried that before.
Yeah, there was a pegboard in the old middle school.
I remember
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
in the little gym.
Yeah.
They had-
Yep.
I always thought it was Swiss cheese. And then I found Milner got out the pegs one time.
Yeah. And you're like a badass if you could go do a loop around it or something.
Oh yeah.
Not easy.
200 schools across the country have adopted La Sierra's program of 15-minute daily competitive exercise. On a hot day, they wet down the wrestling mats for sliding. The boys at La Sierra are learning that it's not only good sense to get toughened up, it's fun.
Well, then we go get ringworm.
Yeah. Well, so what's the difference? Why? I mean, is it all diet? Is it lifestyle?
Yeah.
You know, is it
It's probably a little of both.
all of the above?
Yeah.
I mean, if you even mentioned like requiring that for boys in high school today, you'd be it wouldn't even I mean, it wouldn't even cross the table. It's like,
I mean,
phys-
do they do the mile and stuff in middle school anymore?
I don't think so. I don't think they do. I have never seen a PE class in the last 6 years where kids were actually running, like just a run, you know? I mean, yeah, you can run and play some games, but I've never seen actual running around a track. And maybe they do it, I just haven't seen it. But,
Sure.
yeah, that's insane. That's awesome.
Is PE still like specialized, like where you could sign up for different?
Yeah, there's not as many as there were, I think, when we were in high school, but there's like outdoor recreation and leisure, and I can't remember. There's like special PE special, of course, and
Sure.
which I think that this video is 10 times more intense than PE special.
Oh yeah, dude.
That's just general
I feel like
thought.
PE special is just like showing up, being groggy
Yeah,
for the first half hour, lift weights for 45 minutes,
Yeah.
and then
Kind of fake your way through a weightlifting workout.
yeah, most
That's
mornings. I
like-
mean, it was early.
Yep. Well, yeah, it's definitely something else. There's clearly factors at play to, I mean, and maybe this, in fairness, perhaps this school isn't representative of
right.
the
I mean, there's a
national
reason why.
average.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a reason why they made this video in 1962.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a
So,
good
for
point.
sure.
But, and, you know, maybe you'd find high schools out there with a lot of athletes and stuff that would be maybe a little bit more like this if it was unique circumstances. But
Go to that top one on the right, Jim, and
oh yeah, physical
30.
fitness.
do the vigorous calisthenics.
Yeah, this is physical fitness 1936.
In his speech from the throne at the opening of Parliament, His Majesty the King used these words: "I am impressed with the need for more comprehensive efforts to improve the physical condition of the nation, especially among the younger members of the community. With those sentiments, every British citizen must agree, and today the President of the Board of Education and the Minister of Health watch a demonstration by Battersea schoolboys of what can be done. It's rumored that the government will eventually extend this form of training to every school in the country."
Okay, what is this?
Vigorous calisthenics.
This reminds me of the Monty Python's The Ministry of Silly Walks
Yeah.
stuff. You know?
You notice how there's not one chubby kid?
Yeah.
This is Britain, man. Britain has chubby kids.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah,
again,
but
the
it-
chubby
it
kid
kinda-
wasn't picked to do the video for the government.
It makes you wonder why, just looking at this video, what the huge concern is for physical fitness.
Right.
Yeah, no kidding. I mean, if everybody looked like this, we'd be thinking, oh, shoot. We're
But to
doing
be
great.
fair, I mean, these look like what? Maybe upper middle school, lower.
Yeah.
these kids look a lot younger
Yep.
Yeah.
than those ripped up beefcakes we just looked at.
Yeah. Yeah, that was unbelievable.
Yeah, those dudes were jacked. These guys are kind of just doing tumbling and balance beams.
Yep.
Oh. Oh. Hey, hey.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That was a pretty athletic move there.
Later, Sir Kingsley Wood makes a brilliant suggestion as to how we might improve the country's government.
Oliver, you have suggested that you and I should do this physical exercise ourselves. Why not extend it to the whole cabinet or even the House of Commons?
Yeah, right, homie.
Yeah, whatever. Good
He had
luck.
too many biscuits at
Tea and crumpets.
yeah. Delicious, delicious crumpets.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's interesting stuff. It's amazing to kind of see that change over time.
Yeah. From that to dodgeball.
Yeah. Bombardment in the 90s.
Bombardment,
Yeah.
Bombardment.
Yep. I know you know the rules to bombardment. But just in case, here they are. If you throw a ball and you hit somebody, they're out.
Yeah.
I ran into him. He's getting my dad a new cell phone, I think, over at Verizon in Spirit Lake, and
Mm-hmm.
Milner is in there trying to get his flip phone fixed.
Oh, funny.
Good old coach.
Yep.
He is something.
Yeah, I miss
And then I
those
ran
days.
into Dean Trug at Ace the other day.
Oh, no. What's he doing?
Oh, you know, just trying to keep Jeremy in line, he
Yep.
says.
That's a
They were
full-time
looking
job,
for
huh?
they were looking for some screws. Spurge. We're looking for some screws here.
No.
No, no, no. Sand with the grain.
Yep.
Spurge. You do pretty good job stacking those jack planes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call your old man and let him know what a good job you did stacking those jack planes. And he did.
Oh, that's so funny.
I wish Cole was here.
Oh, yeah. That would
Drew
be...
booted him in the ass in front of the entire, in front of all the parents at a football game.
Yep. Well, I wonder what he did to deserve that.
He was just being Cole.
Of course.
I don't know.
Yep. I'm sure he was mouthing off or something.
Yeah,
He
we'll
had to
have
have
to.
been.
We'll have to hear that story from his perspective. I
Yeah.
wasn't there.
Yeah, I just heard
I just
about
heard
it.
about it, and then Coach had to tell us he couldn't come with us to the game.
Yep.
He had to go to anger management again.
Oh, well. That's just coaches being coaches.
Yeah, Coach Kyle, you ever boot a kid in the ass?
No, I wouldn't have a job if I did.
They can't be doing that anymore, huh?
No way.
You guys run them till they puke?
No.
Well, maybe for
No.
next tennis season or basketball, you can implement some backwards somersaults or like
Yeah.
the Brits here or
Yeah. We'll try the pegboard
the
out.
pegboard thing.
See what we can do.
Yeah, get a pegboard. True Girl make you one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. If the tennis team is like what it was back in my day, I mean, you'd have kids, you'd send them out on go run up to somewhere and back or whatever, and you'd have like people lighting cigarettes on the way out there and stopping at Casey's for a soda and stuff.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a few of those.
That was tennis.
We've got a few athletes.
Yep.
The key for track was because we didn't walk over to the track. Throwers drove. And somehow we were still late a lot. But if you brought Truger a Mountain Dew,
Yeah.
buy him off.
Yeah.
Bring him a Mountain Dew or a can of Coke.
Well, so what subject matter do you guys want to hit?
Oh, I don't have a whole lot left in me, but whatever.
What the hell?
Yeah, come
What are you
on,
doing?
man.
You're on summer. You're not even working.
Yeah.
Oh, this kid has a full-time job and more.
Let's talk about your return to learn plan, Kyle.
Oh,
I haven't
yeah.
seen that. I think it was due to be
due
done.
today.
Yeah, due today. I haven't seen it though. I'm sure it has to be approved by the state. But
Let's Google it and see what it looks like. It's called Return to Learn.
Yeah, each district had to come up with their own return to learn plan that fit within this guidance, which was pretty loose, really. It allowed pretty good local control, I thought.
Here's the PDF of guidance. Ensuring remote learning options are available. Plan to help students catch up for the learning they may have missed. Integrating.
There's no new learning.
Integrating public health strategies. Enabling schools to move between on-site and remote learning.
Yeah.
So, I mean, this sort of thematic of maybe what Kyle and I were we on the air yet or not? I can't remember, but just talking about like the likelihood of returning to pre-COVID stuff anyways. I mean,
yeah.
At least in the narrow area of my day-to-day like legal practice, I mean, a lot of my transactional work I do is email, phone, computer based anyways. You don't really need to leave your desk for that. A lot of hearings have been done telephonically or over Zoom or something.
Yeah, man. We have for example, we're getting a new phone system at the pharmacy, one of the fancy IVR, all that stuff from MediaCom. And one of the reps called me the other day to schedule the installation. And I asked a question or something, and he's like, oh yeah, it got done quicker because, we're working remotely and it's honestly like way more efficient now.
Yeah.
Of a process. And so I think it is going to be interesting, even post COVID, when things die down, when we have a vaccine, when we see new cases going down a lot, it'll be interesting to see how many companies actually force, back into the office and things like that.
Yeah, right. Well, and that you mentioned efficiency, and that was the thing that has been so nice actually about the court calendar. With like my juvenile days, for example, there's always so many parties involved that somebody's always running late or can't make it, or the hearing before ran long or something, and yada yada. And with the call-in thing, it's either everybody's on board to steam forward as recommended or not, and then there isn't really any fluff time. So it's just boom, get it done, and or you set, make plans for a different, have the hearing continued or something like that. So that part of it's been really nice, and I think
I bet.
It's been good for the clients too, because it's, now suddenly your whole day isn't shot waiting for your 5-minute court hearing or something, because you can just call in quick and get it over with and move on,
Oh, sure. Well, and I mean, there are legitimate travel issues for some folks, and if you can just call a number for something that's going to take 5 minutes instead of driving half hour, waiting an hour.
Yep. Well, the delays are one thing that a lot of people complain about, and that's just the nature of the beast when it's face to face.
Sure.
Because the judge may be reluctant to proceed without somebody, or could be any number of variables. But yeah, the call-in thing just forces everybody to be there, and they don't have an excuse like, oh, like my car didn't start, or
Right.
my kid's sick, or blah blah blah. So
What if they don't have minutes?
yeah, well, we run into that kind of stuff sometime. It can happen.
People still do this, prepaid.
Yep.
The disposable burner phone stuff.
Definitely. So what else is in this plan here? Hybrid learning?
Yeah, I think it's very possible. The thing is, at the high school, it's doable. Like, if I had to teach online for, I don't know, a month during flu season or whatever, I could do it. I could record lecture and that sort of thing. Labs would obviously be different, but I have no idea how you would even come close to teaching online at the elementary level.
No.
Like, that's impossible in my opinion.
Well, because half of the learning at elementary level is learning how to just socialize with other humans.
True.
Yeah.
You know, you learn a bit about reading and writing and arithmetic, but
Yep.
a lot of it is just learning how to be a human in society.
Yeah. Basic functions. Can you tie your shoe?
Don't poop your pants in the
Yeah.
middle of the classroom.
This is the alphabet, stuff like that.
Though we did have a kid pee his pants in 4th grade class. I remember that.
Nice.
The teacher, he asked to go to the bathroom, and the teacher says, no, you just had break in between classes. About 5 minutes later, he stood up and said, I had an accident. And it wasn't a little dribble.
Yeah.
It was a full-on.
Major.
You just let it go.
Yep. Well, sometimes you gotta just let it go.
Yeah.
I can't imagine making that decision, though. I mean,
Yeah.
that would have been hard.
Oh yeah. Talk
Knowing
about
you're going to just be crapped on for a while about that.
yeah, oh, yeah. People would be bringing it up on a podcast 20 years later. I mean,
People don't forget.
Yep. My kindergarten was when I learned the art of deception.
Ooh.
Yeah, this is kind of an interesting story. So,
Learn that lies were a thing.
yeah. So, or at least I became, let me put it this way, I became like conscious of the power of deception other than beyond just kind of like hedonistic, I don't want to get in trouble or something like
No, I didn't break that.
Yeah, I figured out the manipulative quality of deception. So 6 years old, and Coral was having a rough day or whatever, and she's like, I don't want to go to work today. And I'm like, cool, I don't want to go to school, so we just took an R&R day, right?
Yeah.
And it was great. Played with my toys all day, whatever. Go to school the next day, and the teacher says, well, she clearly must have been suspicious that I wasn't ill. And I suppose was like trying to get dirt, and Coral kept the kid home and they weren't sick, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she said, so what'd you do all day? And I said, I told the truth. I said, well, played with my toys and, did fun stuff. And then she started to scold me. She's like, you missed a real important day of school. We talked about the alphabet and tying your shoes and, all this other stuff. And I felt bad because I got scolded. And obviously I didn't want to have that happen to me. And then it dawned on me, it's like I could have said anything besides the truth, and she wouldn't have known what actually happened. And then it was then it was just game on from there. So that's the thing that I learned in kindergarten. It sticks out the most.
Well, that's funny, dude.
Yeah.
It's even funnier because your mom was like at the school.
Not only at the school, next door. So that's another kindergarten story. The first
So
day.
did you have Federn?
I had Federn, yeah. So the mom's classroom was literally right next door. So the first day, all the kids are crying and stuff because they miss their mom and whatever. And I was just making fun of everybody. Like, haha, you're stupid. What are you crying for, you big baby and everything? And you know, here I've got my mom like 10 feet away.
I could hear my mom. Yeah. Oh, that's
You're a
funny.
douche.
Yep, classic me, acting all tough.
Yeah.
You gotta assert dominance.
That's right.
Show them you're the pack leader.
That's exactly. Establish alpha early on.
Here I was just peeing on kids. Not really. Everyone who's watching is gonna come to my pharmacy because you need drugs.
Right. It's fake news.
Fake news. I will not pee on your drugs.
You need a press secretary like Trump has, that blonde chick that eviscerates CNN on a daily basis.
Evisceration.
Evisceration.
Her little press conferences are funny.
Kayleigh McEnany.
McEnany, yeah.
She comes with facts. That's for sure.
She hasn't answered a question yet.
She's feisty.
Well, I mean, if by not answering a question, like, I mean, it's certainly true to say some of the questions are like structured in such a way that they're, have you stopped beating your wife yet type.
Yeah. Oh, 100%.
So in those situations, I don't necessarily, I think that's the job of a press secretary to sidestep that stuff. And I mean,
absolutely,
you know, that's just the nature of the beast. That's not to say though that there's examples where there is a pressing question that deserves an answer that would get sidestepped as well. And I don't know. I suppose that's perhaps also the job of the press secretary. You never want to put a bad spin on it, but
right.
Yeah. But I mean, to sit there and be fake news, criticizing the fake news.
Yep. It's just more of the professional wrestling environment of American politics right now.
Oh man, that's all. You're exactly right. That's all it is.
Yep.
Well,
let me tell you something, brother.
We have a president who is actually on professional wrestling.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, it's easy to see how we've gotten to that point. I mean.
Oh yeah. Yeah, President Camacho, Mountain Dew, whatever.
Yeah.
What's that? The name of the president on Idiocracy?
Oh yeah. The electrolytes.
Well, that's
what was his name?
That's Brondo.
Yeah.
Terry Cruz's character.
Oh, it's such a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Scarily accurate too anymore.
Dwayne Elizondo, Mountain Dew, Herbert Camacho.
That's a Mike Judge movie, isn't it? Yeah.
Did you guys hear that Beavis and Butthead's coming back?
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yep. Mike Judge is remaking it. I can't remember what network they're gonna be on, but
I hope it's just streaming.
Yeah. No filter, no rules.
No filter.
Well, I don't feel like MTV deserves Beavis and Butthead anymore.
No.
They do not. And honestly, Comedy Central, besides South Park, doesn't deserve it.
No,
Right.
Though they did bring back Crank Yankers, which I do. That tickles my
Really?
funny bone some.
Crank Yankers, yeah.
That's
Crank
a good
Yankers.
show. Yeah.
Crank Yankers has some funny bits. Beavis and Butthead's great. I love Mike Judge.
Yeah.
Really hasn't made. I mean, Office Space was fantastic. King of the Hill is probably one of my favorite series ever.
Yep.
And even as less like, what was the one? Extract was pretty funny. That was another Mike Judge with the who's the lead guy in Office Space?
Oh. Yeah.
I think that's his name.
Yeah.
But he's He's the lead, and that one didn't get as much press, but it was still really funny.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to be on Comedy Central.
Oh man.
Yeah. Oh well, maybe the network will be boosted out of lameness with Beavis and Butthead on there.
When does that start? Do you know, Kyle?
Let me look. I think I just had it up here.
I love how Google classifies it as an American sitcom. Oh, they just announced that today, it looks like, huh?
Ooh.
2 new seasons.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know when it's going to start.
That's great. I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah, they had 252 episodes of that.
Jeez.
Wow.
I haven't seen close to half of those, I bet.
Oh, yeah. No way. Well, Beavis and Butthead at the time of when it was like brand new was like a huge treat for me to watch because I'd have to like sneak out of bed and go get in front of the TV and be on at like 11 o'clock or something or whatever.
Turn it way down.
Yeah, right.
See the Girls Gone Wild commercials at all hours of the evening.
To a second grader, that's like the coolest thing ever. So Coral was displeased usually watching Beavis and Butthead.
No way.
Yeah, go figure.
My
Oh,
dad
funny.
was real big. I watched quite a bit of it. I watched a fair amount when I could, but it was on so late, and they never showed reruns during the day ever.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I wonder if there was like FCC rules or something at the time, because I think there was kind of at least mild coarse language in Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely crude.
Well, and then just crude humor and lots of sticking things in butts and
dude,
and,
this
there
sucks.
was some gore too. I remember one where Beavis flicked his pencil, or Butthead flicked his pencil and went right in Beavis's eye. And had to take him to the hospital and all that stuff. Then he got all high on painkillers and turned into Cornholio.
I love the hippie teacher.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna mention that. Yeah,
He's fantastic.
great character.
Yeah, that's good. I'm pumped now.
Yep, you got me excited.
I'm gonna have to set the old DVR on that one.
Yeah.
The movie was very good too.
Yeah.
New America.
Yeah.
There's not much.
I'm wondering if they're gonna if he's gonna bring it back though with like, you know how they had the music videos.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know that music videos are really much of a thing anymore.
Oh my God, no.
Yeah.
You know.
I don't think so.
Do people even make them?
The most recent video I saw was a Tekashi 6ix9ine video that he made with his, I don't know, because he's got his like house arrest ankle bracelet on, and I mean Nicki Minaj is naked in the thing, like no joke, and yeah, it popped up of course because I'm searching for Tekashi 6ix9ine. I'm a closet fan, but
I haven't listened to any of his music.
It's
not a one.
Not very good at all. Yeah. Not my cup of tea for sure. I like
trying to figure out who the hippie teacher was for a voice.
I think that was Mike Judge too.
Was it?
I think so.
He did a lot.
Yep. It's sort of like Family Guy where Seth MacFarlane does like 80% of the voices and then...
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
he did Beavis and Butthead, David Van Driesen, Tom Anderson. That's the
Hank,
the neighbor.
Prototype, yeah.
Who turned into Hank Hill.
Yep. Oh, good times.
Oh, that news perks me up. That's great.
End the show on a high note, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go do some housework here before I pass out. I'm just exhausted.
All right. Well, thanks for being on the show tonight, fellas. Maybe we
Yeah, it was good to get back on.
can. Yeah,
after
we
things
need to get on a schedule again here.
Yeah.
slowed down a little bit.
Yep.
All righty.
Yep.
We'll see you guys.
Thanks again. We'll talk to you soon.
Oh boy.